Cosmic Girl 101 signing on for the Virgo rising March 2024 astrology video. Topics this month we're going to be discussing is the Sun, the Moon's personal planets being Venus, Mars and Mercury. So let's discuss the Sun. Now the Sun has been transiting in your 7th house and opening up the month of March, it continues to transit here. Now the Sun in the 7th illuminates your relationships, contracts, agreements and partnerships. This is where you're putting a lot of time and energy into other people. On the 19th of March, we see that Sun leaving your relationship house and ingressing into the sign of Aries, your 8th house, for 4 weeks. On this date, on the 19th, it is also the beginning of the spring equinox in the Northern Hemisphere. In the Southern Hemisphere, it's the start of the autumn equinox. On the 19th, it's also the start of the astrological year. And a big mention, this is the Sun's exaltation sign being Aries. And Aries is your 8th house. So the Sun in your 8th looks fantastic for assets, debt, inheritance, your partner, things that are of value to you is specifically highlighted in this transit. So beneficial people or beneficial returns of assets and just feeling like you are, plugging away or chipping away at debt. You're feeling good about getting on top of your resources here, or a partner just could be assisting you, or a new partnership comes in that gives you a sense of a building block. You're building something solid regarding an asset or an investment. So you could have a new investment with someone else, and it doesn't have to be a relationship. It could just be a partnership and an agreement with someone. This is highlighted here when you have this transit of the Sun going through the 8th. So now let's talk about the lunations for the month. We're in eclipse season, so it's an interesting month for all of us. But let's go from the beginning. On the 10th of March, we've got a new moon in Pisces, your 7th house. So what begins now? Blooms or busts come the full moon in Pisces, September 17, because it's a full moon lunar eclipse in the sign of Pisces. So as you can see on the 10th, being a new moon in Pisces, it's a significant day. So whatever comes across the table regarding a negotiation or a contract or a relationship or a partner, whatever they begin or what they're signing on the dotted line with, comes to fruition on the 17th, or it could be eclipsed out or an abrupt end to something that's occurring for a partner or whatever you're beginning here regarding a negotiation, contract or an agreement. On the 25th, we see a full moon lunar eclipse in Libra, and this is your 2nd house. So on the 25th, this is a big day for something ending and something being removed. So you could be clearing out possessions that you've been hoarding for a while. You could be letting them go, or an asset, an investment could come to a completion, or it may not come into its full entirety, or the expectation of an asset coming off as expected. Is also highlighted here, because Libra is about contracts, negotiations and other people. So there might be someone pulling out of an agreement or a contract with you, so you could lose something here on this date. I mean, forewarned is forearmed. It's not going to be the same for every single body, but for you, I think there's going to be a setback, an abrupt change regarding your assets and valuables on the 25th. Sorry to be a Debbie Downer. It's just how I see it for Virgo rising. The South Node is also transiting in the sign of Libra, and this is about what feels comfortable and what's normal to us. And we're trying to move away from an anchoring agreement or contract or relationship. So for you, it might not be a bad thing, whatever is being removed on the 25th for you as a Virgo rising. Now on to personal planet Mars. In my astrology reports, I like to give a lot of time and attention to the personal planets because they change signs often, which means different topics are highlighted. And the personal planets are very significant to us and our experiences. Mars rules your 8th house and your 3rd house, being Aries and Scorpio. Now, Mars opening up the month of March is transiting in the sign of Aquarius, which is your 6th house. This has been going on since the 13th of February. And Mars transiting in the 6th house in ancient Hellenistic astrology was the place of Mars's joy, the 6th house. And Mars here gives a lot of energy and vitality and a lot of rambunctious energy to get a job done. So if you're feeling as if you've been firing on all cylinders and really, just breaking through barriers or things that, need to have been done for some time, you can see some projects being accomplished quite quickly with Mars transiting that 6th house. The 6th house also has to do with our daily routines, so our health. So health is highlighted here, and also work colleagues, pets, service to other people. So this is where a lot of energy is being expended for you as a Virgo rising, and feeling like you're just getting on top of things. So you could be feeling quite athletic and feeling that you're really in flow. On the 9th of March, Mars is squaring Uranus in Taurus, your 6th and 9th house, in a square contention. So even though Mars is quite, not as busy in March, the 9th is a difficult day, quite simply for all of us, but for you, your everyday stuff, what you've been really chipping away at, comes into a bit of a problem regarding a legality. So if there's some sort of legal aspect that you do day to day regarding your work or something that you're working on in a project, it's as if you've missed, or there's something that was brought across your table that you weren't expecting that could be affecting what you're trying to accomplish or a project you're working on. It also can have a lot to do with an authority figure, or even an edge. I know this is going to be strange, but something educational, and something new that takes you by surprise, that gives you almost a new learning curve or a new perspective or philosophy on a belief regarding something that you're doing every day, or something that you're doing with your work or a personal project. Now, Mars on the 22nd is going to be ingressing into the sign of Pisces, and this is your 7th house until April 30. Now, Mars is in detriment, quite simply. It doesn't have the gusto and the vitality that it normally would. And in the sign of Pisces, your 7th house, it may be a time where your partner is feeling a bit low or being pulled away from you due to creative pursuits, or just not being available as much. So forewarned is forearmed, a partner could be going through a lower time. You could also have some conflict or some contracts or agreements go through a bit of a blip when we have Mars transiting in your 7th house. So now on to personal planet Venus. Venus rules your 9th house and your 2nd house. So this is about Scorpio, this is about Libra, and also about Taurus. So they're the houses that Venus rules, 9th and 2nd. Venus opening up the month of March is transiting in Aquarius, your 6th house, and Venus in your 6th house, it has a relationship being tied up, or possible contracts and collaborations tied up with your work or a project, something that you're doing day to day, or just spending a lot of money, or enjoying what you're doing on a day-to-day basis, or enjoying your health and vitality. On the 3rd of March, we see Venus squaring Uranus in Taurus, that's 6th and 9th house again. So an abrupt or out of the blue change regarding a work relationship, a legality could come into contention on this day, or surprise you. Could be a surprising expense regarding higher education, or something to do with international or foreign correspondence could take you by surprise. On the 11th, we see Venus ingressing into the sign of Pisces, and this is Venus's exaltation sign. And this happens to be for you, Virgo rising, your 7th house until the 5th of April. Venus transiting the 7th house is an easier time regarding collaborating and getting agreements and contracts that you are happy to sign on the dotted line with. A new relationship could come into focus, or an existing relationship could be highlighted here. That's significant. So a partner or what's going on with a partner might be profoundly auspicious or quite enjoyable at this time, or just enjoying your relationship with your partner. You can also see a lot of finances being highlighted here when you have a Venus ingressing in your 7th house. On the 21st, we see Venus conjuncting Saturn in Pisces, your 7th house. You might be signing on the dotted line with a long-term agreement. This could be like an engagement, a marriage. This also is great for a long-term view regarding you and another person. So this looks really nice for let's go the distance. We can anchor into something quite solid and we both feel really good about this. So you might have a term or an agreement or a contract with you and someone else, a collaboration that's quite auspicious, or a relationship that could go the distance here, or at least conversing with a relationship that is going to be quite profound for you on the 21st. On the 24th, we see Venus sextiling Jupiter in Taurus. We like to see the two benefics being Venus and Jupiter in a sextile. So your 7th and 9th house is now coming into a favorable aspect. So when we have your 7th house and 9th house in a sextile, this looks good for an agreement regarding a legality, something on the dotted line that you feel good about. Could be anything. Could be a foreign investment. It could be a legality that you need to deal with that you feel good about. This feels like it's going to expand or grow. You feel quite optimistic on this day. I also can see a lot of higher education, connecting with people that you study with, or some sort of interest or belief. Things are in flow here with you and other people. This looks like a really nice day from the 24th, and for the rest of the month it actually looks quite nice for Virgo rising. On the 28th, we see Venus sextiling Uranus and Taurus, that 7th and 9th house again in a sextile. This looks great for, as something being exposed or revealed that is quite lucrative for you regarding connecting you or a partner or both of you to something in a legal situation. You could see investment opportunities. This could also see you investing in international travel or investing in something that is international. So now on to your ruling planet, Mercury. And again, Mercury is one of our personal planets. Now, Mercury rules your 1st house and your 10th house. Mercury, opening up the month of March, is transiting in the sign of Pisces and continues to do so until the 9th. Now, Mercury is in detriment in Pisces, so this is where Mercury could be really trying to decipher details and get things on paper and get the data and the information in hard form, hard copy, and it might be difficult for you to negotiate or set things in stone regarding relationships, contracts, or agreements. This is slowly going to change, as you'll see as the month progresses. Mercury on the 4 sextiles of Uranus and Taurus are your 7th and 9th house. Here is lit up. Now, Mercury in a sextile to Uranus is possibly information, correspondence, or communication that is surprising or almost takes you gets you off guard regarding a relationship that's tied into a legal situation that you're involved with, or an international foreign connection. Here is surprising, so information might be surprising or could be illusionary. In other words, it might not be real what you're hearing. It's almost like, oh, is that really true? Just be warned on the 4th, it could be a very tricky day. On the 8th, we see that Mercury conjuncting Neptune in your 7th house in Pisces. Okay, you've got creative, expansive ideas that seem beautiful, but are they real? If you are really trying to cement something here, check the details on the data between you, negotiations, and even a partner. If they seem unsure about something that is significant to them, help them out with the paperwork, please, or even a friendship. Really might need some help on this day, because this day doesn't look great for details being available and things being set in concrete if you need something solid to come through. On the 9th, we see that Mercury leaving your 7th house and ingressing into your 8th house, which is Aries, until the 15th of May 2024. And quite simply, it's because the transit itself, Mercury transiting in Aries for such a long time, is because it goes into a retrograde. So Mercury in your 8th house sees you, there could be like a stepping on the gas sort of energy here, quite simply in regards to communication with contracts or assets with other people, debts, inheritances, or partner going through these things. So Mercury here could have you signing on the dotted line, really anchoring into something solid with someone, or a relationship, or you could be signing on the dotted line. Contracts could come into highlight here, and you're actually communicating and talking about this, where you get the paperwork and the details come through a lot more clearer. So anything before the 9th, I'd be wary of signing on any dotted line or believing the information to be rock solid. I think now there seems to be some more clarity available. On the 10th, we see Mercury sextiling Pluto in Aquarius, so your 6th and 8th house connection. So something to do with your work or something going on in the workplace or a work project. In a sextile looks good for, something quite beneficial. Could be helping out your assets or finances, something to do with, so this could be you could be getting a long-term contract that really assists you in cementing something quite solid regarding your sense of self-worth and self-value, and something that's quite auspicious regarding your assets or financials. So a great new opportunity comes in that lets you let go of a debt, or finally tie up something to do with taxes, for example, for you as a Virgo rising on the 10th of March. Cosmic Girl 101 signing off now. I hope you enjoyed your video of the astrology for the month Virgo rising, and I will see you next month.